Today we're hopping back into the dream game, and I've got a few things I want to work on, plus something really cool to show you guys. Alright fellas, so if you're unfamiliar, the dream game is a motorcycle stunting game, and it's because I am a motorcycle stunter and the Roblox developer combining the two things, blah blah blah. We've been here before a couple hundred times, I feel like. To start everything off, I have a very simple task. And the city roads are two pieces, right? There's one on this side and one on this side, but with an elevated grass in the center, which means all of these city roads could be one piece. And this is helpful for two reasons. Number one, optimization, guys. It's not going to be much, right? A part, 1 versus 2 parts, it's pretty much the same thing, right? But check this out. If we delete this, and we just stretch the other side of the road over, this is now only 1 part instead of 2, and let me show you the better reason I'm doing this. Or the real reason? Is better the right word? I don't know. Alright guys, so if we hop on a bike and we're on a road that I have not, quote-unquote fixed, check it out when you roll over this. There's a bump because in between the two roads, and it just doesn't feel satisfying. It's a very, very small thing within the game. But as you can see, it kind of looks like just a little, like, glitchy, I guess. But if we go to that road that we fixed, right here, as you can see, it is super smooth to roll over it. Once again, this is a very, very tiny detail in the grand scheme of the game, but I think the tiny details matter as well. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is going to take a little bit of time here, especially on the curves. So I'm going to just get it knocked out real quick, and we'll skip it for you guys. Okay, that took a few more minutes than I was expecting it to. Anyways, we can move on to our next thing on the checklist, and that is the spawn. There's a couple things we need to do here. This is the spawn slash the plaza, whatever you want to call it. And you spawn on this sort of concrete pad surrounded by water with no way to get over the water. I mean, you could jump over it, of course, which most players will probably end up doing it anyways. But it doesn't feel too satisfying when there's not an actual way to get over it. In the spirit of saving time, I'm going to use one that I made previously. I'm not too sure if it's going to fit the style of the dream game, but something's better than nothing in this, and we can at least try it to see. I also want to note that if anybody likes this bridge, it's on my website as a completely free asset. First link in the description. There's a few free things over there, a few paid things. But if you like this bridge, it is one of the free assets. All right, let's scale it probably way down and then just make it fit in this area. And we'll probably put like 4 to 6 of them just around this thing. Let's make them brown. The outside should be a little bit darker, and I think all of it should be wood. I would say it doesn't fit horribly. Like, it's kind of all right. I'm going to paste a few of these around the spawn in different locations, just so players can sort of pick their path and not feel limited to one way. Alright, I may have used a couple too many bridges, like these two seem pretty close to each other, but I think for now we're going to keep it. This lets you get to every single spot. Do you want to go towards the highway? Do you want to go towards the tables, towards the dealership, the gas station, I guess, the bean? No matter where you want to go, you can now do it by crossing a bridge. The next thing that I want to do in this plaza, I don't know how this happened, because it used to be actual Roblox grass, but it somehow turned into leafy grass over the whole thing, and it made this feel so much more dead. If you're new to Roblox and for some reason seeing this and don't know what I'm talking about, if we go to our terrain editor and click paint, we can set this to grass and paint it on, and now we have live flowing grass, which looks way better than a stagnant leafy grass. So I am going to take some time on this because the terrain's definitely not my strong suit, and I don't want anything glitching over the top of the paths or under the concrete or anything like that. But I am going to paint this whole plaza area in and make it look and feel a lot more lively. Alright guys, so I got it all painted in, and as you can see, there's some issues, a little bit of issues, and a bigger issue is this is a union, because I didn't like the Z fighting. However, if we want to use one cheat code, we're going to have to undo a different cheat code, okay? So, first off, model we're going to separate this. That's going to make it all go back to parts. And then if I go to my plugins, I have one called Grass Fixer. And if I click Fix Selected Parts, also we're going to set padding to 1 instead of 2. Fix Selected Parts, maybe it does have to be 2. Okay, so it's fixing a little bit, but terrain is kind of whack. So let's go to 4. All right, so the plugin doesn't exactly like cylinders, it seems. We're going to go to our main path, as that is a bigger deal. We're going to separate that, and then we're going to switch this back down to 2. Fix selected parts. And as you can see, now all of these have no grass on them. We're also going to union these again, at least until later. I know unions are not the greatest thing, but neither is Z-fighting, man. I do think I'm going to have to do these ones by hand, which luckily for me is not the biggest deal. We're just going to kind of paint leafy grass under this. So non-leafy grass isn't on top of it. And we'll do the same over here as well. We're also going to have to get every side of each bridge, or I guess both sides of each bridge, just to make it look really nice as well. But man, adding in Roblox grass to the plaza, bro, look at this. So much more pretty, man. Now that the plaza is starting to come together and look a lot more lively, I remember it also happened on the racetrack. So we need to add grass over here, or not the racetrack, the stunt park. Next thing we need to do is go to the racetrack because there's a pretty massive change. Bros, has this always been a thing? I just saw it. Robo told me about it, guys. Replace. So I wanted to paint, let's say this in, but I wanted to keep the dirt and the rock. I just wanted to get rid of the leafy grass. However, making the brush really small and going around it is very time consuming. Look at this. It doesn't affect anything except the leafy grass. That's so sick. It's called Replace, and you have a source material and a target material, and that makes so many things so much faster. Look at this. That is so, oh my gosh. Imagine winterizing your map. You can just replace grass with snow. I don't know how long that's been a thing, but that's such a clutch feature. All right, fellas, Stunt Park is now grass once again. Up next, the racetrack. We're cutting it. Quite literally deleting all of the red. So we had a couple problems here. Number one, the race was way too long. Like, the racetrack is bigger than the city, which is absolutely nuts, okay? Secondly, there's a few things we want on the map, such as an airport, a lake somewhere, and we were just running out of space, and we can't really keep adding more map or else we're gonna lose out on optimization. So we cut the racetrack off right here, and it is now this loop. So we have a lot of really nice fun turns, but the rest of this, it can just go. It's gotta go. And then we're gonna have to, man. I might have to hit up the guy who did the terrain for this game to really, make it okay. I'll say it like this. My terrain skills are very limited. So I try not to do, too much that I just know is a bit out of my realm of possibilities. But at the very least, we're going to delete the excess of the track. All of this stuff, guys. All the way around. I can paint in where the track was. A nice, not leafy grass, but normal grass. And then, in a different video, we could figure out how we're going to flatten it all out. And where exactly we're going to put this airport. Because there are two things that you guys have asked for so long. One is an airport, and the other one, a train. It's gonna happen. I promise. There will be a train at some day. Just what day, I'm not exactly sure. And just like that, the racetrack is done. Now, guys, I have a few ideas from you guys, I guess. Number one, over here, I just painted it for now. I'm not too worried about filling in all of this, but we're going to be able to get rid of a ton of trees, terrain, and just a lot. We're going to be flattening out most of this, and it's going to be an airport building with a huge landing strip, aka a drag strip for an alternative race. Over here, in this corner of the map, right here, we're probably going to be doing a pretty big lake as well as a train station. So we should be flattening out the bottom of this, and over here cutting it off to more of a cliffside, which would be super cool to jump off of, especially if we put a ramp on the top, like ramping over the lake through a ring of fire. Guys, there's so much cool stuff. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, here's the thing I wanted to show you guys. We're gonna go into our motorcycle testing place, and ever since we made a public version of this game, it's probably been a few months now, there has only been one bike. However, now we have added in a dirt bike, guys. Look at this. We now have another bike within the game, and it's just so sick. Look at your boy. Wheelie in the dirt bike. We out. But guys, it is so cool to finally have another bike in here. It's not fully out for you guys just yet, as we're still working on a few things, like the wheels clipping in the ground a little bit, and just some random stuff. Also, we need to make it feel a little bit different, adding crazier suspension since it is a dirt bike. But by the time you guys are seeing this video, I would say the dirt bike is either out or coming out very soon. I think that is going to wrap it up for today. If you guys did enjoy and want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Landed it. Later.